Thank you, bro. Ready to rock. David, the doctors are saying not to worry about the bird flu because it's tweetable. Yeah, that's what I'm hearing. Hey, Lise. Hi, Kyler. It's tweetable, all right. It certainly is tweetable. Oh, yeah. That's a good one. I like it. Tuesday night, Ken's 5 Digital Center. Blessings to you and yours. Bill Taylor here. Hope it's a wonderful night. God's peace is finding you where you are. We had a little bit of rain today. Little bit is the operative term because a lot of what developed, I'll tell you, there was some pretty heavy rain in some spots for a little while. I'll show you two areas, the last of which was over Hondo. Watch right in there. This little burst at about 5:36 p.m. was pretty much the last of today's rain. We had a little decaying upper level feature, mid-level to upper level feature in the Western Gulf that kind of spawned a few showers, nothing to get too excited about. The other spot was south of us. Zoom out a little bit, watch around Beeville, and you can see these showers move up and really got good and heavy. Just didn't make it out of Karnes County though before they dissipated completely. So all that we really saw in the city was a few light showers across North Bexar County between 281 and I-10, and they exited Northwest Bexar County. It really didn't look like it was much, you know. It's not measurable, you know. These are like 1/10 of an inch if we're lucky. They're so quick to move out. I mean, as soon as they bloom, they dissipate, it seemed like. We could see a little bit more of this tomorrow. There is at least enough energy for some sea breeze showers to develop. It'll take the daytime heating to get things stirred up and going, but it doesn't appear it'll be much. Let me show you what the models are saying. This graph model did a great job with today's rain, and it really focuses it out west of us. 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, and you can see we do get some in the area, but these are such quick little sprinkles. Wouldn't even say it's rain, right? What is the weather looking like? Any thunderstorms? No, sir. No thunderstorms, Kyler. There were lots of storms coming today. Yeah, no real storms developed. They were mostly just little showers, and clouds looked pretty ominous, though. Clouds sure did look pretty ominous. I had a couple of pictures. Oh, first, let's celebrate my Tuesdays with Taylor. I wrapped things up at Cody Elementary today. I'll show you the great young Colts, the eager young minds of Ed Cody Elementary. Maybe this nice sign. They all signed the sign. Thank you for coming for Tuesdays with Taylor. A big thank you to the librarian, Mrs. Alanis. You see her there in the picture, helping us out every Tuesday. Well, helping out with every day's announcements, but on Tuesdays is when I was going. And I would do the weather on their announcements, and then I would answer a meteorology question. Here's the class. Okay, so Mrs. Hart's 4th grade class. We celebrate you because they had the highest attendance during my Tuesdays with Taylor run at Cody Elementary. What I decided to do years ago, and it came out of an idea from a teacher. They were, I was on one campus, I forget the school, and it was an elementary school, and they were having a lot of construction being done, and so attendance had really dropped because it was difficult getting to the school. And so this teacher suggested, what if we did an attendance contest? And during your Tuesdays with Taylor, during this, I usually go for about 8 weeks. You know, the semesters in elementary are 8 to 9 weeks. I'll go for the whole semester every Tuesday. And when we get to the end in that 8-week stretch, the class with the highest attendance gets a tour of KENS 5. I said, that's a great idea. Let me talk with KENS 5. They were like, that's a great idea. So we did it, and I've never stopped. And so I offer that up every school I go to for this Tuesdays with Taylor program I do. They get the attendance contest. They get a tour. This was the winning class, Mrs. Hart's 4th grade. So they'll be coming here to KENS 5. Really cool. All right, so showed you future radar. Yeah, let me show you these clouds. Did see these earlier. This was over Somerset. Our good friend KENS 5 eyewitness Sonia Prusky. Great camera work. And I mean, look at those. You're like, come on, get the umbrellas. It's definitely going to start pouring any minute. And just nothing. Because we just don't have a good trigger. There's no front, there's no real trough, or there's no area of low pressure. What we had was just good sea breeze, moisture moving in. We did have one small little disturbance in the Gulf that wasn't enough to get things really going. But it definitely looked like it was going to, right? Let's take a look at the highs today. Hi, Marcy. Good to see you. Megan. Perfecto. Good to see you in Pleasanton. You too, Paul. God bless you. 97 Gonzales, but 86 in Rock Springs. So quite a difference. 94 Del Rio, 97 Carrizo Springs, 96 New Braunfels, 93 in the city. And keep in mind that we should be stopping at about 85 now is the average high. So 99 stays in place from 1937. That is a serious record high. All right, let's go to the tropics, show you what's going on. Oh, that's a long ways off. If we get any, Kyler, you know, you say first as if we'll see several, right? You never know. Maybe you're being prophetic right now. Maybe we're going to see several. We're going into a weak La Nina winter. So a La Nina winter usually spells out drier, warmer conditions for winter. I don't put a ton of stock in these long-range forecasts. And it's mainly, it's proven as, you know, I wouldn't say wrong, but the long-range forecast in 2 winters in particular here, La Nina winters that are supposed to be warmer, supposed to be drier, right? 2 conditions that are just not conducive for snow. The 2 biggest snowstorms in this city's history were during La Nina winters, 1985, 2021. So to say that, you know, you can lock it down, we're going to have a dry, mild winter. No. And remember, those snowstorms were events within what was a pretty mild winter, okay? Pretty dry winter. But it can always happen. So that's what you can't rule it out. It just doesn't, you know, long-range forecasting, it's a fluid, gaseous situation. It's the atmosphere. Megan, recommend a class or a school? Absolutely, a school, for sure. Now, I'm locked in for this year, and what I have to look, but I think I have a couple on 2026 already. So, because it's a lot of fun. Oh, excuse me. You know you're in trouble when you stare at frozen juice cans because they say concentrate. You just like focus, right? So we're watching the Pacific. Look at Priscilla, right off the Baja, south of the Baja, big storm. Then we could get the next named storm, Eastern Pacific. We watch those. But then we're especially watching this low probability area in the Bay of Campeche. Right now it's, let's see if that probability's gone up any. It was 10% yesterday. And, well, not just yesterday, even today. And now it is 10%. Yep, so no change. And then we've got Jerry. It's a boy. Jerry's out in the central Atlantic, heading west towards the Caribbean. But here's the turn. Just like the last couple of storms, steering currents have been around that Bermuda High, on the western periphery of that Bermuda High. So what's been happening is these storms have been getting picked up and turned out to sea. And this one will not be an exception to that. 1 to even Category 2, right? Yeah, Category 2, heading towards Bermuda next week. Hurricane Jerry. All right, 14-day forecast. Let's get a gander. Isolated shower, Kyler. I wouldn't say rain necessarily. Ridgeview Elementary. Absolutely. I'm going to write that down. Thank you, Megan. Ridgeview. And if you have a contact, btaylor@kens5.com, Megan. btaylor@kens5.com. Send me that name again, and then send me any contacts you might have there if you know who the principal is. That would be wonderful. And I'll reach out and see if we can get Tuesdays with Taylor out there. So yeah, 2 rain chances out of the next 14 days, and they're both on Wednesdays, and they're both 10%. Obviously, a dry, mild to even hot weather pattern will stay lower 90s, flirting with mid-90s Friday the 17th before we get a front through and hopefully a few degrees lower, a little more seasonal heading into the weekend of the 18th and 19th. I'm looking forward to those mornings. Sunday morning, Monday the 20th. Look at that. Down into the upper 50s that week. That would be nice. Hello, Terry. Otis wants to know if you'll be at the Man Up. Got to meet you a couple years ago. Which one? There was one last week, and I had to miss it. This past Saturday, there was a Man Up. I didn't make it. It was, I did my Kinetic Kids annual event. Kyler, I think it's going to be, we're going to watch that system in the Bay of Campeche. That could definitely develop. It's got a low probability, only a 10% chance, so it probably won't. But it's definitely something to keep an eye on. Through the end of November, we're still in hurricane season. But now that we're starting to get closer to getting a good front, we've already had one front go to the coast. That starts to really lower chances of a Gulf hurricane. So, all right, guys, that's going to wrap things up. Things have been awfully quiet. No big rain chances in the future. Nothing tropical in our future. Hot and dry. Conservation is a water source, my friends, so please make sure you're paying attention to the watering rules at home. I love you. God bless y'all, and we'll see you on KENS 5 News at 10.